Sony SLC7. Now these are a nightmare of a machine to work on. Every single one of these I've seen servo problems. C11 in the capstan servo circuit is always faulty, and a lot of these other capacitors, even though they test alright, the only way to get it to work properly is to actually replace them all. Fairly big list of capacitors here, which is what I've replaced on one of the machines. But having dealt with that, this particular machine here, absolute nightmare, dealing with no colour on playback. And what it turned out to be, just look at these circuits here, there was no colour on playback, and I had a look through Practical Television. In one of their columns they had a section called VCR Clinic, and there was a sort of a description of the Sony C7 colour circuit. Now if you look at this circuit here, I mean it is just hideously complex, you know, as is typical of Sony. But looking at the block diagram, what it was, I mean you could see there was no colour burst in the video signal, so the colour is converted back to the 4.43 meg subcarrier here, goes down through this bandpass filter and out through this delay circuit and then into the video. So tracing through, I eventually discovered that this bandpass filter here is open circuit. And looking at the circuit here, that's this component here. And what I did, I was tracing through on the oscilloscope, and there was nothing coming out of D21. Now during playback this transistor switches on, and during record this one switches on. But I thought I'll just bridge with the capacitor from the output of the colour I see directly to the base of this transistor, and it worked. So tracing through, the bandpass filter turned out to be open. This is what it looks like. It's one of these ceramic encapsulated things on a ceramic substrate. I mean the only way to fix it would be to dissolve the epoxy off it, but I've just temporarily substituted a 180 picofarad capacitor, and it works. I'll just demonstrate here. If you look extremely closely on certain scenes, you can see there is a very slight delay of the chroma to the left, but a non-technical person wouldn't pick it. But anyway, I mean this part's not available, so, and, you know, for a machine that was made in 1980 I wouldn't expect it to be. So yeah, that's one of the nightmares I've dealt with. The other thing that dies on these machines, you can see I've replaced all these switches. All of these are originally tactile switches, and every machine I've seen, they've been faulty. So if you can't set the clock and the day, yeah, you've got to just replace them all. I used C&K push button switches. Slight modification there, but 10 times more reliable. But yeah, I've got yeah, 2 more of these machines up here, which I'll get onto next. But yeah, good machines when they work, but yeah, a nightmare when they don't. And the other thing I've got to deal with is there's some patterning on the RF output, so hopefully that's something around the modulator I can deal with.